Mr. President, I rise to urge my colleagues to oppose my colleague Senator Lee's amendment, which would interfere with the Food and Drug Administration's ability to enforce their regulations related to the names of dairy products. This amendment, if passed, would upend the FDA's review of nutrition innovation as part of its nutrition innovation strategy. It would short-circuit the agency's efforts to review standards of identity and other tools to provide meaningful, accurate information about food products to consumers, and it would block the agency from addressing the mislabeling of imitation products that use dairy names without meeting the legal requirements to use those terms. The FDA has currently an open docket, and the public is able to comment on these issues. We should all let that process play out. But this isn't just an attack on the FDA's process. It's an attack on dairy farmers.
Senate will be in order.
It's an attack on dairy farmers across the country and in my home state of Wisconsin. And this attack couldn't happen at a worse time. Dairy farmers are facing extremely difficult times, and in Wisconsin, last year we lost over 500 dairy farms, mostly small and medium family-sized farms, almost 6% of the dairy farms operating in our state. Dairy farmers in Wisconsin work hard to meet the various requirements for the milk that they produce. This ensures that when a consumer buys a dairy product, it will perform in recipes as expected, and it will contain high-quality nutrients for those consumers. I want to finish with one key point. There are already existing regulations on the books that define what constitutes dairy. However, the FDA has failed to enforce their own rules, as imitation products have used dairy's good name for their own benefit. I have introduced the Dairy Pride Act to force the FDA to stop sitting on the sidelines and to enforce its own rules. Instead of blocking the FDA from doing its job, as the Lee Amendment would do, we should ensure that the FDA moves forward and enforces its own rules. Dairy farmers in Wisconsin shouldn't be asked to wait any longer, and I urge my colleagues to oppose the Lee Amendment.